Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today we're getting into something really important, something that affects pretty much everyone in this fast-changing 21st century. How do we actually raise kids who are ready for, well, everything that's coming for us, the tech, the new kinds of jobs, the complex social stuff? Our mission here is to kind of shortcut that for you. We're pulling insights from cultivating future-ready children, thinking, planning, and creating. Think of this as the essential guide to the parenting shifts needed right now.
That's a great way to put it. And it really is a shift. Not just, little adjustments to the old ways. It's more fundamental. We need to empower kids not just to, survive the future, but to actually shape it, to be confident, creative, build a good life for themselves and, for everyone. The old rule books, they were fine for their time, but they just don't fully prepare kids for what's ahead now.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The source material starts with something that sounds simple, but is actually quite deep. The power of parents' words. It argues kids soak up way more from just hearing us talk than we usually realize. We might think, oh, they're too young for this conversation, but apparently not. They're like super sponges. They absorb everything, how we talk about the news, how we figure things out day to day, even just us voicing a reasoned opinion. That all sinks in.
Exactly. And the implication is huge. It's not just about, say, not swearing around them. The source points out things like biased comments or making decisions without really thinking them through, or even just, careless talk. All that stuff gets embedded. It forms their baseline, their mental habits, how they'll think later on. And you have to ask, right, if their basic mental software is built on shaky reasoning, how will they handle this flood of information we all face? How do they tell what's real?
Mental software. Yeah, that's powerful. So if that's the risk, how do we install a better operating system? It sounds like it comes down to teaching them to be rational thinkers, not just sponges, but active processors. The source really hammers this home. In an age of just constant data, critical thinking is key. Kids need to learn to ask questions, to ask why, to ask how, and maybe the most important one, is this actually true? And for parents, the advice is crucial. Don't shut those questions down, even if they seem relentless. Instead, guide them. Help them find the answers themselves. That curiosity, that's the engine for lifelong learning we want.
Absolutely. And to build that questioning ability, that rational thinking, kids need some foundational tools first. One core skill the material highlights is practicing classification and categorization. It sounds basic, like sorting blocks, but it's fundamental for analytical thought. It helps them learn to tell facts from opinions or figure out cause and effect or decide what information matters and what's just noise. Think about it. If a kid struggles to sort laundry, how will they later sort through complex arguments or, spot misinformation online? It's the same basic mental muscle.
That really clicks. And what I like is the source gives such easy, everyday examples. It's not like you need special workbooks. It could be just sorting toys by color or type, or classifying foods when you're cooking fruits, vegetables, grains, or grouping different kinds of stories.
Simple things.
Yeah, really simple. But that skill grows with them. So later, when they face a complicated problem in school or work, that early practice helps them break it down, analyze the parts, and find real solutions. It's a building block.
And right alongside sorting information comes organizing action. That's the next piece. Planning. The source is very clear. Teaching children to think and plan today prepares them for the future. Straight up. It builds responsibility. It teaches time management, skills they'll absolutely need no matter what they do later in life.
Again, you can start really small with this. The source suggests things like getting them involved in planning a family picnic. What do we need? Or mapping out homework for the week. Or even planning how to save up allowance for something they want.
Right, concrete steps.
Yeah. And then you gradually make it more complex as they get older. They learn to handle uncertainty, look ahead, basically create their own roadmaps to success. It gives them agency,
So I've got thinking skills, planning skills. But
Right.
then there's the whole social dimension. That's critical too. The world is incredibly diverse, different ideas, cultures, ways of communicating. Kids need social intelligence, knowing how to listen, really listen to different viewpoints, and then find common ground. That's a huge skill today. It's about navigating people.
Totally agree. And it's more than just putting up with differences, isn't it? It's about truly trying to understand where someone else is coming from, accepting differences, and then working together to find solutions that work for everyone, which, let's be honest, is hard even for adults sometimes. So how do we actually teach that?
Well, the source brings it right back to the family. Parents need to actively create opportunities, let kids voice their opinions, properly participate in family decisions, maybe choosing a weekend activity, deciding on rules, things like that. Encourage healthy debate. Teach them how to disagree respectfully. It's all about learning to respect different views and find compromises. That skill, it's gold for future teamwork and just getting along in society.
Okay, this leads to a really interesting, maybe even provocative idea from the source about the future of work. It points out, look, jobs are changing like crazy. Lots of current jobs might vanish. New ones we can't even imagine will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So the argument is, instead of just training kids for the jobs we see now, we should be developing them into people who can actually create new jobs. That's a big mental shift.
It really is. And what that means practically is fostering an entrepreneurial spirit. And that doesn't necessarily mean every kid starts a business. It's more about nurturing creativity, innovation, and, this is key, the courage to try things and the resilience to fail and learn from it. It's about seeing problems not as dead ends, but as opportunities for new solutions.
Exactly. And the source gives great examples here, too. Let them try small things. A bake sale, maybe? Or encourage them if they see a problem in the neighborhood, how could they try to fix it? Or just support them tinkering and inventing stuff, even if it seems silly. It's about fostering that proactive creator mindset, seeing possibilities.
And if you zoom out, that entrepreneurial spirit isn't just for their own benefit. It helps them create opportunities, potentially, for other people down the line, too. They become contributors, leaders. So really what this whole deep dive shows is, well, it's a major shift needed in how we think about raising kids, moving away from just memorization and following rules, and towards really building up critical thinking, complex problem solving, and maybe above all, adaptability. And when we make that shift, when we truly focus on developing these skills, the rational thinking, the classification, the planning, the social smarts, that entrepreneurial spark, then we're raising kids who are genuinely ready to face the future with confidence and, like the source says, ready to create good things for society.
That really is the goal, isn't it? Creating good things. So it leaves us all with something to think about. Here's a final thought for you. What's one small, specific change you could make? Or maybe just one different kind of conversation you could have, starting today, either in how you talk with kids or even just in your own thinking, to start cultivating these future-ready skills right now?